Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. So let's talk. Well, Dak is back, man. Um, Dallas had a game last night against Tampa Bay, and they lost the game. It was a really close game, though. And the story of the night was Dak Prescott, because we really wasn't expecting to see Dak, and we really wasn't expecting to see Dak look so good, because being off for as long as he was. First, he had his horrible ankle injury, man. When I saw that, now, I am a Washington fan, and I am a mortal enemy of Dallas Cowboys. But when I saw Dak Prescott ankle and the way his ankle was turned like that, man, I felt so horrible. And I was like, come on, Dak. I was pushing for Dak to come back, because it's more important than the rivalry. It's about this young man and what he represents, and he's the first legitimate black quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to see him succeed. So when I saw him go down like that, man, it was horrible, and I really wishing Dak the best. And to see him come back and play the way that he played, it really made me feel kind of good, and at the same time, it made me a little nervous, because the way I've been talking about Dallas and how they weren't going to be anything this year, and they came out and they put on a performance against Tampa Bay, man, that really changes up the conversation now. So a lot of analysts this morning, y'all gonna hear them talking about, oh, Dak is back, especially Skip Bayless. Oh, we're not gonna hear the end of this from Skip Bayless. He's probably talking right now as I speak about, oh, how great Dak is, and Dak is the best thing since churned butter, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread to make a piece of toast with. Yeah, Skip, we know what you're gonna be talking about, but that's okay, because this time you have validity to what you're saying. Dak Prescott came out last night. He was very, very impressive in his return. And, we've been talking about the shoulder and all of these different injuries, but he came out and he put on a great performance. Now, Tom Brady, Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does. He picked that defense apart so bad, it was just horrible, and nobody could stay on Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was just having the night of his life. He's also making a comeback too. Yeah, he did come back last season and he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl and everything, but that was just a couple of games in. He's really back to Antonio Brown form, and you saw it last night. Those routes that he was running was so crisp, and he's back on top of his game, man. So I salute Antonio Brown. I salute Dak Prescott. I salute all those guys, man, because it was a great game. It was a great way to start off the season, and everybody was like, oh, Dallas shouldn't get an opportunity to be in the season opener game. They're going to get blasted. All of us was chanting the same thing. I ain't even going to lie. I was thinking the same thing myself. But the only reason I was thinking that is because I didn't know that Dak was going to actually play. I thought that he would come out and probably get a few reps and, run a few series just to see how he's feeling, and then they snatch him out of there. But no, Dak went out there and he played a game of football, and he played a really good game of football. So I congratulate that dude for that. So now we're going to see what this NFC East is going to shape up to be like. I might have to change up my standings for the NFC East, because we don't know if Saquon Barkley is going to be back when they say he's going to be back. So that may just drop the Giants down to that. I'll put them in third place, and I'll put the Eagles in last place. Then Dallas might be in second place. I don't think they're going to beat us, but they're going to be in second place. So I might have to just change up that little roster that I originally made for the NFC East. But either way it goes, the NFC East is looking good. I'm happy to see our teams looking better than they used to, because the NFC East for a long time was a joke. Let's be honest. The NFC East was an absolute joke. And you know it's a joke when last year Washington was the division champions with a 7-9 record. Way under 500, and you still win division champion, and that's the best record. So yeah, the NFC East hasn't been taken seriously for quite a while now, but now I think the NFC East has something to make other divisions say, hey man, these guys, we gotta watch out for them. This is not just just a win in the column for us anymore. We gotta really play against these guys, and I'm excited about this season because, first of all, I want to know if we, and when I say we, I mean Washington, are we going to have our new logo and our new mascot and all of that stuff before our first game? Because I don't want to go into any more games referring to them as the football team. Yeah, I made up this little thing saying we're called the football team because we're so good, we don't need a name. But, you know, that's just the bravado of a fan. I really want to be able to call my team something other than Washington, because there's more than one Washington. You have Washington, D.C., and you have Washington State. So I want to be able to directly pinpoint and identify who my team is. So, yeah, that's just my little spiel, man. And there's a lot of good football that's going to be going on this weekend. We got a lot of great college games coming up. We're definitely going to be looking at Jackson State again, because Deion is just, wherever Deion Sanders is, there's going to be something happening. There's going to be some type of activity going on. The last thing I saw from Deion Sanders and Jackson State, salute to you guys, by the way, it was the call that they got for unsportsmanlike conduct in the game last week. Did y'all see that when Gilly the Kid was out there? First he was in the locker room, then he was dancing around and they was having a ball, man. But then he got out there and he was on the sideline. And so Jackson State scoops up the ball and they take off running, man. And then all of a sudden, you see somebody running down the sideline with the Jackson State player to the end zone. And the Jackson State player, you know, he gave him the ball and Gilly spikes it in the end zone, and they get an unsportsmanlike conduct call. But man, that was one of the greatest pieces of sports video that I've seen in a long time. I rewound it 1,000 times and laughed 1,001 times. And the funniest thing about that was how Gilly was running. Everybody go back and watch that video again and watch how Gilly the Kid was running. Now, some of you, if you don't know who Gilly the Kid is, he's a rapper, and now he does something like this. He does podcasts, does interviews with other artists and things of that nature. He's a funny guy. He used to be a gangbanger back in the day. He changed his life around, and you know, I kind of like him. He's funny. He's a character. He's very animated, so I'm into that. But y'all go back and y'all watch Gilly the Kid running down that sideline and watch how that man was running. That was one of the highlights of my week right there. That was one of the biggest highlights of the week. But there's a lot of football to be going on this weekend, man. And I'm just gonna sit back and check out the games and see what's happening in the sports world on the underside, because like I say, y'all know I do the sports news, but I really do the stories, like the feel-good stories and the personal stories of these athletes. So I kind of do a broad overview of the games, but I really talk about the life stories. That's my lane right there. And so once again, man, salute to Dak Prescott. Dak is back, and he's going to be a problem for us in the NFC East now. So it's a bittersweet thing. And I'm willing to take that, because that's what sports is about, competition. And if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. Ain't that what Ric Flair said? To be the man, You gotta beat the man. And so right now, the way Dak played, Dak is the man, and we're gonna have to beat him. But best believe Washington is up to the task. Hey, this is your boy D Mac. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.